Hi, Shruti, just to give you a background to what we thought was today we'll stop with the lectures. We'll be a little more practical about it. So we thought we'll pick any data set that we want and just start working on it so that you get an idea of whatever we were talking about the last, 2, 3 sessions. We'll put into the practice so that things get a little clear. So uh, we propose that we
Okay,
look
sir.
at any kind of data set. If you guys have a data set, it's fine. Otherwise, I thought, there is a very interesting resource called data.gov.in, which is this, I'm sure that you're able to see. So this data set, this resource has n number of, you know, high value data sets, and it actually takes a lot of time to get familiar with this. So I urge you to actually go to this, portal, look at all the multiple data sets that is available, and uh, you know, the time for going and collecting data from the field and all of that is gone now, right? So n number of data, so a lot of data is available on the open domain. So now you can start, building stories and making sense and make this data speak and draw insights from it. So we thought we can look at the health sector domain data right now. Uh, and there are other states also which has this similar kind of interface, in the sense that Tamil Nadu earlier only Tamil Nadu, Delhi, and a couple of other states had, but now a lot of South Indian states also has started, right? AP, Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. So you can have specialized data sets also. I'm sure that when you guys have time, you'll be exploring this, right? So we can, this is one way you can look at. You can go to the sector, because we are coming from the health sector. We can just check on the health sector. Otherwise, there are any number of data sets from multiple sectors. You have from agriculture, arts, culture, education, water resources, infrastructure, power, social, and other things are there. We'll be talking about other sources of data as well, especially when it comes to social determinants of health. But I just want to point you out to this resource because it's quite useful. So you have the NFHS district level fact sheet data. You have
I've
global. Sorry, you know about this data set, right? I mean, this
Yes, sir.
resource.
I've had an idea about this data set, sir. Yes, I've
Okay.
seen, like, heard
Okay.
about this, sir.
Okay. So have you ever looked at any data? No. Okay.
No, sir,
So
actually, I did not get the data as such because we have to apply and then get the raw data. So stuff is
no,
process.
no, no. This is not the DHS. It's not the
Okay,
DHS. It's data.gov.in. It's the Open
okay,
Government Data Initiative. The DHS
okay,
data
okay,
has only NFHS and other national level surveys. This is the other Open Government Data Initiative. So
okay. I've
yeah,
not
this is
seen this, sir. I have seen one WHO का open source data, like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've seen
This is
some something
yeah.
I just checked.
I think this is quite new. I mean, last year it's Global Youth Tobacco Survey has been published. Let's look at this resource. So it says that, okay, it's an Excel data available. Granularity is others. Let us preview the data. It says, okay, for each state, I think you have urban and rural, isn't it? For India, you have how many have ever used tobacco, current tobacco users, smokers, cigarette users, BD users, pan masala, new cigarette smokers susceptible to cigarette use in future. Okay, never cigarette smokers. Okay, this is interesting. Median age of initiation of cigarette. Okay, I think there's quite a bit of data here, no? Isn't it?
Yes.
You want to have a look at this? Shall we explore this data?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
let's
Sir,
download. Yeah.
sir, can you zoom a bit because it's actually very small. I think I
Oh,
see.
okay. How about now? Is it better?
Yeah,
Yes.
better, sir.
Just 1 second. Okay. So you can get this data in multiple formats. XML is extended markup language, JSON, JavaScript, CSV, and open data source. You also have Excel. Are you comfortable with CSV or Excel? Which one do you want? Usually we get data in multiple formats, but yeah, we'll use Excel today. Okay?
I'm used to Excel. Excel, I'm used to.
Excel. Okay, Excel. But then interesting, you see a lot of information is here itself, right? You can see if you want to look at this fact sheet, you just press this. So this is about this data set. I mean, the survey, correct? So a lot of information is there. This is the first round, second round, third round. This is the fourth round of data that we have, correct? Okay. This is the fact sheet for whole of the country, I guess, है ना? Yeah, India fact sheet. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, we can easily create this kind of plots. Maybe we will also. Let's see if we can get the time. Okay. I'm downloading the data set. I'm a non-commercial person. I'm using it for academia. I don't want to give my name and email ID, but I'll just give this 95CCAFY, no? FY. Download. So this GYTS4 XLS file is open. Okay. So right now it is actually there in my downloads folder. Sure, you're not able to see much. Now visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the data set. I don't want to explore much in Excel. I'll just close it for now. Okay. I'll open my RStudio. Okay. One thing we realized that we have to, whenever we are working in a project, what is step 0? Step 0 is to create a new project, no? Isn't it?
Create a project.
Yeah, we'll go to file, we'll go to new project. What I'll do is, I've already created a session 3 in my folder. So I'll create in existing directory. Earlier, we did it in a new directory, but I already have a directory. I'll browse it. So I'll say online session 3, integrating data. Okay, I'll open here. I'll create a project. Okay, so when I created a project, there is nothing in my files, only just rproj is there, isn't it? So yeah, this is what it is. The first thing I can start is to create a script file, and then I'll start. What should be the first line of every script file?
What is in the project name?
What we will be doing, like step is
Isn't it? I can also say the data was from the isn't it? Correct? No? I can also
Yes.
give a link so that next time when I come here, I can just, I know where the data is coming from. Okay. This much is clear, no? These are good habits, right? Ensure that you're doing it this way. Okay. So the first thing I'll do is I'll save this script right now. I'll the way you do it is Control S. So it'll ask you where I want to save. I'll create a new folder called code. Okay, because this is our script. So, and I'll say, or I'll call it EDA, EDA GYTS 4. Okay. So it has, in my code folder, it has created an R script. Okay. So right now I have downloaded the XLS file. I want to put it in a folder called data. That is one of the good practices. I'll just create a new folder, and this time the folder name is data. I'll say OK, and I'll just show this folder in a new window. So it is open a new window for me. So right now the data folder is empty. I'll just go to my downloads, copy this, and I'll put it in my data folder. Okay, so this is here. So this is already reflected in my RStudio. You see, I open the data folder. There is a GYTS 4.xls. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, sir, where did you create the data folder?
Okay. I created, see, when I first created a project, there was only this session 3 integrating data.r project. Okay.
Okay.
Then what I did was I created a new folder called code. Okay. And I put my first script there. Okay. EDA GYTS4 we have created just now. So it is there in the code folder.
Code folder.
Okay.
Okay.
And similarly, I just downloaded the data, from the what do you call it? From the data.gov.in. So similarly,
Yes.
I've just created one new folder called data. Okay. And then I put that data set here. Okay.
Okay.
So it is the same as this. If I open my what do you call it? Windows Explorer. Okay.
Okay.
If I go back, so I have all my online sessions here, session 1, session 2, session 3. Today is session 3. Okay. So I'm using this, but I have created folders for everything. I have not created any project or anything. So I've just created the folder. That is why I used this existing folder to create the project. Okay.
Okay.
So in this, you see there is code and data. 2 folders are there. You open this, there is one an Excel file, isn't it?
Yes.
You can use it. You can use your file explorer to move files also. That is not a problem. But I prefer to do it this way. Okay. So if I want, I can go to my working directory, which shows that this is my working directory. And there are 2 folders here, data and code. Right. I'll just there are other ways also to see. There is a sorry. So basically, this is a way of finding out what all my files are in that folder. FS stands for file system, and I'm asking it to give the tree of the directory. So it says there is this file here, and there is a code and data folder. In the code folder, there is one R file, and in the data folder, there's an XLS file. This is one other way to look at things. Okay.
Okay.
So just like once we created the R step, the first step what we did was we tried to write what this data, this R script is doing. We are trying to explore the data from the Global Youth Tobacco Survey, and the data was downloaded from data.gov.in portal, and this is the link to where the data set was. Is that clear? So what I did was I used these hash symbols so that a hash, whatever is followed by hash and a space, is only for the human to read. It is not machine readable. So when you execute this, the machine will understand that, okay, this is something that it is written for humans, not for me, who is a computer. So I will not execute this like an R code. Okay, that is what it is doing. So
Okay.
this is what it is. And the first step you do is load libraries, right? Or load packages, right? What are packages you want to load?
tidy.
Okay.
Tidy works.
Yeah, library, tidy. There are a lot of tidy things. So tidy works.
Library here.
Look at many things that says tidy, tidy, tidy. That means all of these are following the same kind of principles, right? Same kind of philosophy, like tidy Bayes. How many of you have heard of this Bayes theorem or Bayesian methodology? You might have heard these words, right? So tidy geocoder, tidy models, a lot of machine learning models can be are well here. Tidy Terra is used for spatial raster manipulations. Tidy text is for text mining using dplyr and ggplot. There's a lot of tidy things are there. So that's promising. And library here. Any other library you want to use? I think these two will do for now, isn't it? Okay.
Okay.
So next step is load data, isn't it? So there are two ways you can load data. Okay. So one way is to, if I know, because like there is a package called read Excel, where there is a function called read Excel, right? And I know where my data is. It is in a folder called data. And I also know what the folder, the data set name is. I'll just copy it here. Just put it here. Okay. Let me see if it's reading or not. See, it says, yeah, there are 108 rows, 59 columns. Pretty easy, no? Pretty simple, right? But if you think that, oh, I cannot remember all this, I don't know how to remember all this. So one thing you can do is you can go to this import dataset option, read from Excel, right? You're importing from Excel, and then you can browse. You can go to this data folder and choose the, this thing, the dataset you want, Excel file. And the moment you select it, it is going to tell you, okay, this is your data set. Okay. And if you see on the bottom right corner, there is something called as code preview. Okay. So what it says is that from the library read Excel, see, it's already writing the code for you, right? Let me just copy this code. The way you can copy this code is press this button. You can say either import or you can cancel it, and you can just paste it directly here. Okay. This is what I wrote, and this is what it has given me. But if you see, there are certain changes here. You can use Excel also. I could have also used Excel. That's fine. But it is not using this way. It is not giving the file path of using here. It is giving the file path which is located in your folder, right? So this is one of the drawbacks that happens. But one good thing you can do is you can edit it here itself, right? You just change that / to two different this thing. And yeah, definitely, I'll just call it DF. This is one of the good ways you can remember is that, all your data frames, whichever, at one point of time, I guess that you're only working on one data set. So make it quite explicit that you're giving one name always, right? So that you can repurpose your code again. But one other thing I wanted to tell you is that right now we have separated our codes into three different places, right? The first one is, kind of giving you an idea about what this is doing. The second one is loading packages, and the third one is loading data. Okay. This line number 12, which is library read Excel, should it be in line number 12 or should it go up where I have said load packages?
Up.
Up. Okay.
Sorry.
So I'll just remove it from here and then I'll, put it here. Okay. So that I know these are the 3 packages I'm using for this data set. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Or I can do one thing. Instead of loading this library, see, if I say read Excel, when the moment I say read Excel in 2 colons, a lot of functions are available for me. Okay. So if I want to keep my script very simple and light, and I'm only using one function from this, I can just do this way and I can remove this line. Okay. So I don't have to load the whole package, right? It is just like knowing where exactly the reference is, right? It is like that. You get my point?
Yes.
Did you understand
Yes.
what I did?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. Anand, there are 2 ways you can. So this read Excel is a function. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This read Excel function is coming from this package called read Excel. Okay. So these 2 columns are saying that, okay, whatever this is, it is coming from this package. Okay.
Okay.
If you know where the function is coming from, you can write it this way. Okay.
Okay.
But if there is only one function, how many in this whole exercise? Only once, right? I'll not be loading it every time I'm pressing enter or something, right? I'll be only using it once.
Once. Okay.
So I need not, and I'm only doing it once. I don't need the whole package to be in my desk. You get my point? I don't want to clutter my desk. I
Yeah,
want my desk to be very clear, very clean. Okay. So instead of doing this, instead of saying library read Excel, I will say I don't need to load all these packages, because if you see, read Excel is actually giving you not just one function, 1, 2, 3, a lot of functions are available. Okay. I don't want to keep all these books or pages in my desk open. I just want only this one, and rest of it I don't need. So for that, I can just say read Excel 2 columns and I can just use this. Okay.
Okay.
I hope it is clear. And this is not inherent for, or especially for only this read Excel package, any package. For example, here I can, instead of saying here data, I can also say this, and I can remove this line 8. That will also work. Okay. But can anybody tell me, if I run line number 13, will it run or will it throw an error?
Error, I think, because IPT cannot.
It should run.
It should run. Okay. Let me run it, and then when it doesn't run, you can tell me why it did not run. What is the error it said?
We are not using here, even though we are using the here syntax.
Exactly. Correct. So if I do this, okay, if I do this, now it will run. And you see, in my environment, there is a new DF, which is 108 by 59. Is that clear?
Okay.
Now, now look at the DF pipe and row. How many are rows? How many rows are there?
9.
108. Why am I saying rows? You have to come back to the tidy principle, right? All columns are variables. All observations are
rows.
Rows. Okay. So now if I say n row is 108. If I say what is n call means number of
Column.
How many should it be?
59.
Or if you really want to very quickly glimpse it, okay, let me pull it this way. Oh, it has to do with the, or you want me to zoom in? Okay. Why do you think the output is not being put properly is that if you look at the names of DF, this is the way it is written. Okay. If you remember, yesterday things were very nice and things because when you opened the TB dataset, all the names were written in the snake case, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Correct or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
snake case. But here it is not written in the snake case. Okay, it's written in capital, small, other special characters is there, space is there, all of other things are also there, which we really don't want. So now we can ask, okay, how to clean it and how to, make it into snake case. So one way you can do it is using a function called clean names function. Okay. The clean names function is coming from a package called janitor. Okay. Okay, you must be thinking, okay, what do you mean library? Who is a janitor? Who is a janitor?
A person who cleans a place.
Okay. So a person who cleans is a janitor. So I'll take my DF and I'll say clean names. Okay, when I'm typing clean names, it's also saying that okay, this is coming from this package called janitor. Okay, clean names. Now let me look at the names. Now it is all in the. See earlier, how were the names? Now it has already turned into snake case, isn't it? I need some feedback because I know that I have introduced you to one new package and one new function. Okay.
Sir, so in
Yeah.
this clean name, so it will directly come into small case earlier. It will not go into like is it fixed, sir?
Okay. When you look at the help for clean names, okay, the way I pressed help is I put my mouse here, the cursor, and I pressed F1. Okay. Any function you want help, for example, names, I want help, I'll just press F1 here and it will open in my help window names. Similarly, if I want to go for library, it will open, okay, library is for loading and everything. I'll go for clean names. Okay. Now it says that, okay, it will change capitalization preferences, O's and Spanish characters, make clean names. So basically, yeah, it'll turn things into default is snake case. Okay, but you can also have n number of cases. Okay, let me test it. Okay, you want camel case, small camel case, big camel case, upper camel case, anything, let us see screaming snake case. Okay. So case equals to, I'll just copy this one. I don't want to type. Okay. Case equals to this. Now I'll press Control Enter. See now how it did change. Isn't it?
Okay.
Or you can say it's not screaming case. I'll call it lower underscore camel. You see? Camel is like humps, no? So every word is actually capitalized. Students who noticed N is capital, anti, A is capital. So there is no underscore or anything. It has removed the spaces. So is it easy to read?
No, sir.
So what was easy to read?
I think the small case, the snake, small.
This is easier. So that's one of the reasons we were saying that it's always good to have one case only. Snake case is the default. That is why if you go to the help also, it says if you go back to the clean names function, it says okay, clean names case is by default it is snake.
Okay.
But you can choose anything you want. You can go for title case. You can go for. You've seen all variety of cases are there. Okay, and not just this. See, this is how it is. Okay.
So
Okay.
does this clean names part, like, has it overwritten the data frame, or do we need to
No.
again like write it?
Okay. Yeah, we need to write it. If I type df and names, it will say okay, it is still this. Okay. I just wanted to show you. Okay. So what we need to do in order to make that overriding it is that you need to take df and you need to say okay. So now what is happening now? I'm taking this df and I'm cleaning names. When I take this df and I say clean names, it is going to clean the name. See, state UT, area, ever tobacco user, current user tobacco, all of this is there, isn't it?
Yes.
Hmm? So,
Yes, sir.
but if I type, but I have to assign this to something. Only then it will be saved, right? So what I'm doing, I'm taking this and I'm overriding df, saying that now df is the ones with clean name. So now I can just run this, and now if I glimpse df, it will still be the same because the names are too long. But at least you're able to read it, right?
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to
And sir, one doubt. When we assign this DF, so should we put same name DF, or like we should be changing like DF1 or something like
okay.
that?
Okay. Does it really matter? We have all these very bad habits, no? final one, final two, final three, and final. All that we do, but you never come back to the previous versions, right? Since you already have code written, you can, if you really want to go back to DF, you just have to do this. So your now DF is overridden. Now you can look at your names. Get my point? So
Okay,
one
sir.
other thing you can do if you really want to do that is that you can create something called as DF backup. Okay. And then you can say this DF is backup. Okay. And now you can do whatever you can, this thing, but you can always go back to the backup. You see?
Okay.
DF is now a little clean. The names are clean, but backup is this way. Okay.
Okay.
I would
By
not.
giving like
Yeah.
this, we will get a backup file with such changes only.
Yeah, but I don't recommend using this backup and backup 1 and backup 2. See, why do you want to backup? You're already writing code for it, right? So for example, I'm going to save this code, okay? I'm going to save this code and I'm going to close this. Don't save. And next time I want to come, I can just come here, open my RStudio, go to the project that I'm working on. Right now, my environment is empty. I can go to the files. I can go to code, open this, and I can just run this again. See, now my DF is there. Now DF is clean. You see, it's this fast. I mean, why do you want to do it? Create multiple backups, confuse yourself, right? So this is what I would recommend. That is why I was saying that loading the data set also, even though this looks very promising and very quickly can load data, you have to ensure that this code is reproducible. Loading the data set is a manual step that you're doing. Even though you're doing it manually, you have to document it as a code. That is only then it is reproducible. For example, I'll just what I'll do is I'll comment this out. Imagine I just loaded this data from Excel. Okay, I'm going from this drop down menu. Okay, I'm going to this data. I have done okay. I've imported. So I can change this name. I can say DF for now, and I'll import it. The moment I said DF, see this also changed, isn't it? The code also changed. So I can say import. So it has already imported my data. Okay, here, and then maybe I'm cleaning the names for it. Okay, and then maybe I'm looking at. Okay, what are the names actually? Maybe I'm looking at what is the ever tobacco users percentage. Okay, and I want to compare it across rural and urban. So I'm saying that DF let me look at one state. What state it is? Can anybody give me one state?
Kerala.
Somebody said Kerala, no?
Yes.
Okay. So summarize mean mean of. Oh, it's a what is it saying? The error it says that usually you have used only one, but you have to use two. That is what yesterday we learned, no?
Yes. Sir.
When so the errors are also sometimes helpful. Okay, don't be very worried ki, oh, error has come, now what? You just go through that error, the solution usually is given. See, for example, did you mean area is equal to Kerala? So now let me run. And then, yeah, it says NAN.
Okay.
Okay, why? Okay, I'll give you the answer here, but you have to understand why. Okay, you have to tell me why. Why? Let us look at the data. In Kerala, ever users percentage is there, 3, isn't it? Interesting. Okay. It's saying that maximum 97%, minimum is 0.1%. This is for total, isn't it?
Mm.
Interesting. Okay. What was the answer? Why was it saying so? How is Kerala written here? Kerala, isn't it? It is not area. It is state underscore UT.
It was checking under area. Okay, then it's not there.
So that is why it's not there. So now it's saying Kerala is not found. Okay, sorry, it's state underscore UT, na?
Yes.
State underscore.
Yes, sir.
So 11%.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, these kind of errors come, and that does not mean that you have done something wrong. it means that you actually have to relook at what you did. Okay. For example, if you remember yesterday I was talking about group by and things like that, right? So for example, if you want to get the mean percentage of all urban areas, rural areas, and overall areas, so one thing what you can do is you can take this data set DF, you can pipe it, you can ask it to group by area, and then pipe it again, and then you can say, okay, I want the mean, mean tobacco using percentage. So it says that, okay, rural 24.6%, in urban areas 20%. So in rural, a slightly higher percentage of the youth are smoking, not smoking, have ever used tobacco. Okay. Now let us check if ever used tobacco and cigarette smoking is also the same. The trends are same or not. Okay. So current tobacco uses. Let us look at, okay, what about this is this.
So what is that you added at the end? NA.rm.
Okay.
Capital T.
Okay. So even if I don't use na.rm, it will work. But when you're actually calculating mean, no. So I'll just illustrate this point. Okay. So let me create a vector called x. Okay. X is a vector with values from 1 to 10. Okay. So just pay attention at my environment. Right now it says, oh, sorry. It says that x is a integer with values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 to 10. Okay. So I can ask it, what is the mean of x? And then it will say 5.5 is the mean. Okay. But now if I say, if I add one NA, x is, okay. So now it says it's an integer from 1 to 11. But if I say what is x, it will say it is 1 to 10 plus 1 NA, because I've added one NA in the end. Okay. But if I now ask it what is the mean of x, it will say NA. Okay. How is mean calculated? Mean is calculated by the total of all the values and then divided by the number of values, isn't it? Since one of the values is NA, it does not realize, it is confused actually. Should I include it, divide it? I cannot divide anything by NA, right? So I don't know if the values are 10 or 11, right? So what you can do is, right now, as this says NA, but if you can add, remove the NA from your estimation, NA.rm equals to true. So then it will say, okay, it's 5.5. How do I know? How do I know this? I can just go to this, whatever function mean or whatever, I can just press F1. The moment I press F1, it says that, okay, it is a generic function for the trimmed arithmetic mean. I hope that there are, that there are n number of means, right? There is a trimmed mean, there's an arithmetic mean, there is a geometric mean, there is a harmonic mean. All that is there, but still it is only calculating the arithmetic mean. That means combined something by the n thing, okay? By default, it is not going to remove any NAs because it wants to explicitly tell you that there is something wrong in the data. Okay. So by default, it is false, but you can change it to true. One way of, see, I can say y is Arun. Okay. But if I ask what is the mean of y, it will say no. It will not only say NA, but it will also say that it is not a numeric. But earlier it did not say any of that. Okay, it just directly gave NA. You get my point?
Yes.
The other way of representing or assignment, which is a very bad way, is Z. is equal to India. Okay. So one way of assignment is less than minus symbol. The other way of assignment is single equal to, not double equal to. But I did not purposefully give you this single equal to because you tend to confuse, right? So always and always try to use this one. Okay. Forget about equal to as something that you can do. This is nothing but equal to only. Just think of that. Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, there are two ways of writing things, right? There is you can write this also and this also. They're all the same, isn't it? These both are same. Similarly, I can also write true, which if I write true, it is going to say true. I can also just write T, which is a shortcut. That's also say true. Similarly, for false, I say false. I can also say F. It's false. Okay. So true and false are something called as logical or Boolean operators, right? Logical operators. Logical means it's only yes or no. It can only be true or false. There is no in between, right? That is why we say logistic regression, right? There are only two things that can happen. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. So we'll just come back here. So this is actually giving us the rural-urban, differences or mean tobacco percentage. I'll comment this out. I'll leave it to the down. But one bad thing that I did was I should have estimate mean ever Kerala. Okay. What is this doing?
Keeping a track of what we do for us here.
Yeah. Mean ever tobacco by
By
rural
urban.
Okay. Okay. So I want to compare between rural and urban. I'm not interested in the total for now. Okay. So how can I do it? How can I remove the total rows? The rows that have total, right? See, each row has this total, right? I don't want these totals because I just want to compare rural and urban now. Okay? So what I can do is I can just say df filter area is not equal to total. I'm filtering the rows, right? Whenever I want to filter rows, I'm going to use the function filter. If I want to select the columns, I'll say select. Okay, I'm filtering the rows and I'm only interested in those which are not total. This is as good as saying where area is equal to rural or area equals to urban. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
The line 39 and 40 is same as line 34, 33 and 43 and 44. Let us check. I'll look at the dimensions of this. When I type this, when I execute this, it will say that 72 rows are there. If I look at this, it will also say that 72 rows are there. Isn't it?
Yes. And
Okay.
sir, for stopping, I think we put exclamation mark, no, sir, like that.
Yeah, for not equal
Oh.
to. Okay.
Okay.
Not equal to.
And or is just a line.
Yeah,
What-
or is above your enter symbol, enter button, there is one single bar kind of this thing. No, there is one other way we can
Yes,
write this. Okay, I'll just show you the third way also. The third way is to say Okay. Let me run this. This will also show you 72 rows. Okay. The same thing you can write in many ways, right? So if you want to get the answer of 4, you can say it is 2 into 2 or 2 plus 2 or 8 divided by 2 or 16 by 4. It doesn't really matter, right? So, but it's the way you think about it. So, and all of this is using only one function, right? One verb, in fact, right? And filter. You're only filtering things because you know what you really want to do. Now, if I want to select the first 10 columns, okay, I'll just okay. If I want to select, let us look at the names of the data set. Okay. How do you do that? df pipe. The pipe operator the shortcut is Control Shift M, M for Mogambo. Okay. And names. So these are all the names. Okay. So I don't want all of this. Okay. I'm only interested in all the variables wherever cigarette is there. Okay. Or maybe, for example, ever used, ever, or current. You get my point? I'm only interested in ever use or current use. Let me look at, maybe for now, I'll look at ever use. Okay. So I'll say take df. And I want to select the columns, no? So what is the function for selecting the columns?
Select only.
Select, isn't it? Select what you want to say, anything that contains ever. Control enter. How many columns are there actually? 59 columns are there. Okay. Now when I press Control enter, it says that only 10 columns.
So ever means it will only match ever or even never will match, because never also contains ever.
Is there any variable called never? Let us look at it. Let us put never. One is there. Let us see if that one is selected here. Never is also selected. Good
So how can
question.
we avoid that if we only want to?
Okay. We can just put, yeah, there are ways. I don't want to make things complicated to you, but let me, since you brought it up, there is something called as regular expressions, right? Regex, or regular expressions, right? So regular expressions are meta commands where you specifically say that this is what I want, in the sense that, okay, I want, for example, the other day I was trying to scrape all the IDSP data from 2009. Okay. So there is a specific way that they have written the file name or PDF name, and from that PDF I have to extract which week of the year they are talking about, right? So for example, I only wanted to select 4 characters. So there are 4 ways, many ways you can write regular expressions, right? One way is that I can specify that select only if this ever is there and not does not contain ever. Or you can say that, okay, this should only contain 4 characters before an underscore comes. You get my point? There are a number of ways to do, and I think mastering regular expressions itself requires around a month's time, but you can do that. And once you master it, nothing can stop you. Okay. You'll be like, talking in regular expressions to people, right? Anyway, so if I do this, if I search this, I'm getting ever tobacco, but I don't know whether it is urban or rural or total or which state it is, right? Right now, I'm not sure. So one thing I can do is I can just say that not only this, why don't you select state underscore UT, and also I want area. Okay. Easy. So what select did is that you can select names, rows by names. You are giving literally the name of the column, or you can say whatever is containing what. Or another way to do it is that you can say I want the first 10 columns, right? So it's giving you the first 10 columns. Or you say, no, I don't want the first 10 columns. I want the first 2 columns. And then I want the last 15 columns. Okay. So how to do that? Okay. Maybe you'll have to calculate last 15 how to do. But I would say that maybe it is 30. Is it 44?
There's no way to directly specify it.
You want the last n columns?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can do that. For example, you can say n calls of df, n call of df. Okay. Minus 15 is 44. So you can say n call of df sorry. Got it?
Yeah.
I can also say 1 to 1 to 2 also, because I want the unitary tree and the so that's that clear. So there are n number of ways to select a particular thing. If you know the column name, you can specify the column name. If you know that this column contains this, then you can specify that. If you know that, okay, this is the I need columns, alternating columns, maybe anything that has pre in my data set, because sometimes you write pre treatment and post treatment and things like that, right? Okay. So
Sir,
we are,
one doubt.
yeah. Yeah.
Sir, when you just said like select 1:2, like
Okay.
will it default look into columns only and not the rows? Like
Okay, select what is it going to do? Is it selecting the rows or columns?
Only operating on column.
Only operating columns. If you want only the total ones here, then you can pipe it again. Filter. Okay, filter area equals to total. See, now you see only total is there. Okay, in this only, if you want to say I only want a Bihar, no, you can say filter state UT Bihar. Or you can combine these things and say, okay, Bihar, Jharkhand, it says that Bihar, and I don't want the total one. See, Bihar, Jharkhand, urban rural. Is it clear? Okay. Okay. So 2 functions you are clear now, right? You're clear with select. You're clear with filter. You will not be completely clear with it because you have to practice on your own. I'll share this script with you. Maybe the next time when we join, we'll work on RMD. Okay, but let us continue with our discussion. Okay, I want to make you comfortable with creating a plot. Okay, so for example, if you have seen, just tell me one kind of plot that you guys want to see. Let us see if we can recreate or create that plot. You want a bar chart, you want a line chart, you want a please don't say pie chart, because there are very interesting articles on why you should not use a pie chart. I'll share that as a resource. Maybe you can read later on. But then pie chart is a no-no. Okay, you should never, and worse than pie chart is a 3D pie chart. Okay, so yeah, so now that you know this data is there, now you know what data it is. It is the GAT survey. Come up with, yesterday you came up with, we thought about the philosophy of EDA, right? So we need to ask questions. So why don't you come up with a couple of questions? We'll see what whether we can test those hypotheses or answer those questions. Anything. Okay, it could be a very simple question. Which among the 4 South Indian states has the highest, things like that. But I would prefer if you have a question, you can come up with it.
Tobacco overall, like ever used in descending order for all these states, like as a
Okay.
line graph.
Great, great. So you want to ask, you wanted ever use tobacco, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, select contains ever. It can also, the first one you're talking about, is it this one?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So I can just simply say 1 to 2 and then this. Okay, so there are 3. So I'm only selecting 3 columns, right? Rest I'm not bothered. For this purpose, for testing this question, which you asked, these 3 columns will suffice? Or if you want only the state and
State
even
and
area,
total.
yeah, even the area will not matter, right, to you?
Yes.
Right now,
I
you only
think
want total, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Filter area equals to okay. So I can remove this 2 also. Oh, sorry. Okay, but then we don't know whether it is total or urban or rural. So let us keep it, just in case, just so that we know what it is. Okay. Sorry. So now we are taking this, and then you want to find out. First, let us put it in ascending order, right? Which is the function? Arrange, no. Arrange. What do you want to arrange it by? You want to arrange it by ever tobacco. Okay. Okay. You all must have come across this package called ggplot, no?
Yes.
You've heard of it, right? Even when you have down, when every time you say library tidy or ggplot is loaded. Okay. So I'll open a resource. ggplot2 actually. ggplot stands for grammar of graphics. Okay. It's an ecosystem based on grammar of graphics, just like you remember the tidy data, the philosophy of tidy data. So even in R, the graphics, the way you build graphs and graphics is based on this philosophy of grammar of graphics. There is a book on it, but never mind. You can just have a look at this anyway. So I'm not going to load the ggplot library, but because it is already loaded when you did tidyverse. Okay. But if you look at the syntax of ggplot, it all starts with the okay. A ggplot has these arguments within it. Okay. It needs data, it needs mapping, and some things are optional. It needs at least two things: data and mapping. Okay. So what is the data here? Data is all of this, isn't it? This is our data set, correct? So either you can call it plot df, okay, and then you can say data equals to p underscore df, which is one way to do. What I usually prefer, or I should not say prefer, I think you should go with this kind of methodology because this is a little more systematic, but this is also possible. Okay, so basically what we are saying is anything that is above this, take this and do a ggplot to it, isn't it? Because it's the pipe, no? What does the pipe say? Anything on the left, take it and put it, do the right thing to it. I mean, the thing on the right, right? So let us go, and then we need to put some mapping. What do you think when you're creating a plot? Okay, the beauty about R is that it forces you to think. Okay, so now you want to create a plot with state and tobacco use. Correct? So how do you want the plot to be? What do you want on the x-axis? What do you want on the y-axis?
State on the X and the percentage on Y.
Okay, state on the X and percentage on the Y. So I will, I'll not, you can say mapping equals to aesthetics and all, but I can just say aesthetics directly. And then it's asking what is your X and Y. What is my X? X is state underscore UT. What is my Y? Y equals to ever tobacco users. I think I have not run this PDF. The moment I run this PDF, it's already created this PDF and it says only 36 observations and 3 variables. And now it will be able to users percentage, no? Okay, right now it has created a plot for me, but there is nothing here in the plot. It said that, okay, in the x-axis there is states. You're not able to see it properly, but it's there. And in the y-axis, it is this. Now, what do you want to do? You said that this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. That is fine. Now, you have to give it something called as geometry, right? The geometry is whether you want to create bars, you want to create box plot, you want to create anything. Right now, a little meaningful would be bar charts. Okay. One difference between ggplot syntax and the tidy syntax is that within ggplot, you have to use plus to add 2 elements of a plot together. You cannot use pipe. Okay, so I'm taking whatever is and I'm adding a geometry. The way you add a geometry is called geom underscore. There are n number of geometries. That means you can create an AB line, you can create an bar area plot, bar plot, you can create a blank plot, box plot, column, contour, count, crossbar, curve, density. All of these are available for you. Okay. Think of it and all that plot is available for you. Okay. So we'll just for now create a bar plot. Okay. What it says? Okay, stat count must have. Okay. There's some error here, but then that is okay. Stat equals to sorry. the error when it thrown out, what I should have done is I should have pressed F1. When I put F1, it is going to actually give me the help menu, and it is going to say, okay, mapping data, all of this has already been put here. So geom bar takes one other argument called stat, and stat is actually the default is count. Anyway, we'll come to that. I'll when we talk in detail about ggplot. But this is the plot that you have created. By looking at this, you're able to say that, yeah, no, this does not look fine. I think the x-axis should be the percentage, and the y-axis should be the stage. No. But then you also asked me, Lokesh, that you want to put it in ascending order, right?
Yes.
Right now, it doesn't look very pleasing. Okay. Now, how do you put it in an ascending order? Okay.
So, but when we piped it itself, it did that arrange function, so that doesn't apply.
No, that doesn't apply. The reason is a number is a number. Okay. The x-axis needs to be arranged. It is not the y-axis that needs to be arranged. It is not ever percentage, ever tobacco use that needs to be arranged in ascending order. It should be the state that has the highest and lowest that needs to be arranged.
Understood.
Isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
So one way to do that is that you can, since you have this PDF, okay, and it's actually arranged properly, you can just take. So right now it is arranged, isn't it? So I can pull one variable from it. I'm going to pull state UT. So when I pull state UT, it is going to preserve that order. Okay. Okay. So what I can do is I can call it as state order. Okay. And in this PDF itself, I can create a new column. Here I'm. What is the function that you use to create new column?
Mutate.
Yeah, mutate. Correct. Creating a new column. Let me call this state new. Okay, state new. This is a factor of state UT, but the levels are the state order. It must be confusing. Let me, before I run this, let me break it. Okay. So PDF has a state UT. Okay. This is right now, it is a, if I look at the class, it is a character variable. This is clear?
Yes.
Okay. So now I want to convert this state UT as a factor. Okay. I'll tell you why I need to convert this as factor. When I say convert it as a factor, it is giving me, okay, first is Andaman. It is nothing. It has changed from everything else is same, but it has added something called as levels. Okay. So levels, it is said, okay, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Andhra Pradesh, and then it went to West Bengal. Okay, it's the alphabetical order that they're trying to do. But you know that this is not the levels that I want. The levels that I want is actually this: Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Telangana. This is the levels that I want. So now what you can say is levels are state order. State order we have created here, right? Isn't it? We have created state order here. If you just look at state order, it is actually these. And now if I say, okay, this thing, levels are now Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Telangana, Chandigarh. Last is Mizoram, isn't it? You get my point?
Yes.
So whatever this is, that is the same as this, isn't it? Whatever this is, we are saying that, okay, take from this data set, PDF, take the state ut and convert it as a factor with the levels of state order. That is nothing but we are taking PDF, we are mutating, that is creating a new variable called state new, which is a factor of state ut with the levels of state order. Now, if I run this, it's going to create one new state new column, isn't it? Which is a factor. It is not a character like before, isn't it? It is a factor. It is the same. If you say Karnataka, it is Karnataka. When you say Andhra Pradesh, it is Andhra Pradesh. But the type of the variable has changed now. You get my point?
Yes.
Okay. So now I need to, reassign this. So I'll call it PDF and I'll run it again. And now I will say X is state tobacco, right? And Y is state new, isn't it? Happy?
Yes.
Okay.
So the X and Y order doesn't matter. Like you put Y first and X afterwards.
Okay. If I do not have said that this is X and this is Y, if I would not have said this, because you're specifying it, so, sometimes I'm lazy. I just want to change X to Y and Y to X instead of putting this thing there, copying, pasting. Get my point? So now the
Yes,
question can be, okay, now this is all very interesting. Now I want to color it. All gray is fine, but I want to color it. You want to color it, no?
Yes, sir.
Which color? Okay, let us think that, okay, let us color each state differently. Okay.
I think India should be like the main. It's not here.
Okay. Okay.
Main
So
and
interesting. Fine. I think, yeah, this will be an interesting this thing. You want to say that if anything is having the national average and above, should be one color. Anything that is national average and below should be one color. And national average can be some other color. That maybe you can decide. So we can create one variable saying that if the ever tobacco users percentage is greater than such, then you call it so and so. If it is less than such, you call it so and so. But for that, you need to know what is the national average, isn't it? So how do you find the national average? Either you can go to this data set, look at what the national average is, 18.1, isn't it?
yes, sir.
Filter state UT equals to India, and then pull whatever tobacco uses percentage. It is the same. Okay. This is a manual thing that I did, but you can always be a little fancy, but it's one and the same. So what I'll do is I can just say this. I can say create a new variable, mutate, called category. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Or what do you want to call it?
Yes.
Okay, category. Okay. If else ever tobacco users percentage is greater than or equal to 18.1, then you say high. Otherwise, say low.
So can you specify that 18.1 as some, like the code that you wrote in order to filter and pull that value? Like, can we give that value a name and mention it here? Or... So that net average would be an object.
Okay,
Oh,
it's easy, quite easy. And
and so should
yeah,
the code like come before or after this? Like
correct,
if it
correct.
is
Correct. You are very right. What I'll do is I'll just, in the interest of making this reproducible, I'll remove this and I'll remove this because it's already created on top. And I'll just, yeah, this should work. But why is it showing? Okay, this is, see, there is an X mark here, no? Why did that S mark come? Because it says that, okay, there is something wrong here, something fishy. There's an unnecessary dot here by mistake. So the moment I remove that, that X mark also will go. Okay. So let me run this national average. Just let me check that what is national average, 18.1. So when I create this, I can just go to, yeah, because you already arranged them as this thing, it's coming as that. But if I just open the PDF and check, all these are high. Okay. So now what
Yes.
you can do is you can say, okay, now what should be the, you want to color it by what? You want to color it by category, right? So what should
Yes.
be the syntax be? Think about it logically. I'll give you next time, whoever tells correctly, I'll give you one dairy milk. If I tell correctly, then if you don't tell, then you all have to give me one each.
So maybe there is some argument for color in the geom bar function.
You want to color it by what?
The category.
Category. So like high should be this.
Why you want to complicate things? Color by what? Color by category.
Category. Okay.
Shouldn't it be the bar itself instead of the border?
So you want to fill it, no? Isn't it? You want to fill it?
And sir,
So
why is it in the ggplot part and not in the geom bar part?
Ideally, all of this needs to go in this. All of this has to go in the geom part. Okay, ideally. But yeah, it's one and the same, right? For example, now if I want to create a, no, I want you guys to propose what to do next.
But sir, in this India is also like the national average is coming along with the high.
Yeah.
So
So
it can't be shown as separate.
okay, you want to show it separately?
Yeah, because to have a
Yeah.
demarcation, like
Okay.
it's
So
wrong,
if you remember yesterday, you know, yeah, we can just say, okay, we can modify this. We can say mutate if else.
There was that case thing that you said, no, sir? If there are
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than two conditions.
Yeah, case when we can use. Do you want us to use case when?
Yes, sir, we can see
Okay.
once. How
Let us use case when. Okay. I'll call this time I'll call it category new. Okay. So we'll take PDF. Okay. Let me just stop myself for 1 second. Are we off time? Are you guys okay for me to continue, or you want me to pack things up? Because I know you're all family members and things. Apart from a couple of you.
Too much fun.
Okay, you're having fun.
It is okay, sir. No problem.
It's okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Anand? Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay, Frederick sir has left. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll look at the videos. PDF, pipe. See, one good thing in R is that the moment I press something P_df, it automatically gives me too much of information. Like it's literally too much information. I don't need all this, but I can not only I can scroll. I can look at things very quickly here. I don't have to go to the view button. If I want to know, okay, what is the spelling of Puducherry, I can just look at it here itself. Anyway, so PDF, what is the function to create new variables?
Notate.
Mutate. Okay. Category new equals to case_when. Okay. When it is greater than the national average, isn't it? We no longer want greater than or equal to. When it is greater than the national average, we want it to be called high. And this is the symbol that I'm using, okay, in case when. This is called tilde, TILDE, and it is just above your tab and below your escape. Okay. That button, which is we really tend to, it's like an orphan button. Nobody uses that, right? So there are two important symbols there. One is tilde and the other one is called a backtick. Okay. Backtick. We'll use that when we go to R Markdown. We'll not use it, but that is how code is represented. Okay, this is the first condition. What is the first condition? We are saying that if tobacco users are above national average, then we'll say high. Or we'll call it higher. Okay, now. What about the next condition?
Below.
Okay, then what you'll call it lower, no?
Lower.
Then what else?
Is equal to.
If anything else that is left, which is nothing but equal to, then you call it national average. The way you write that, anything that is left, we can specifically say that if it is equal to, we can definitely do this. There is nothing wrong with doing this. This is totally acceptable. In fact, if I run this, you can see. Okay. Right now it shows only this much, but you see that there is a new category that is created. Okay. Now let me just pull it a little bit, just so that you guys have an idea. See, got it? But
Yes.
yeah, it's a character variable. Okay. So I have to assign it. No, I have to do this. If I don't do this, I cannot run it. So now category fill is nothing but category for new, isn't it? See how quickly you are able to reproduce this plot. Happy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is for one variable. Now I want. Why don't we do it for current tobacco smokers? Yeah. Ever tobacco users is this. If we really want to change it to current tobacco users, all you need to do is just starts from here, no? Starts from here, right? Your code starts from here. I'll just create a new R script. What is the variable name for ever current tobacco? Okay, current ever needs to be replaced with current, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I am very lazy, very, very lazy. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll say Control F. That means it will find all ever and replace it with current. And I don't want to do it for just one. I want to do it for all. Okay. Where are all? Okay, all these places it is selected. Okay, great. I'll replace all. 8 occurrences replaced. I'll copy all of this. I'll select all of this and I'll enter. And then I created a new plot. And this one is for current users.
Yeah.
Okay. Get my point?
Yes, sir.
And these are the things that we, beat our heads in the
Yes, sir.
wall and, all of that. The beauty is because you've documented everything. Now, if I say, okay, what is the national average? It is no longer 8.1, 18.1. It is 8.5.
Yes.
Get my point?
Yes, sir.
I hope that, slowly I am, showing you the carrot.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll do one more. Are you guys up for it?
So that
Yes,
you are
sir.
going to
Okay.
Sorry?
say in that case one, that final condition, how to specify without writing the full thing.
Okay, without doing full thing. Okay. I can just say, I'll call it category newer. Okay, just for the fun.
Oh.
It'll be absolutely the same. There won't be any plot change in the plot. But the only thing that you'll see is that this category new will become category newer.
Yeah.
Okay. It's quite simple. Okay.
The
The more you
one
use
thing
it, the
without-
more quick things become, right? The more the more interesting it becomes, and you will no longer feel that okay, yaar, ye kitna time lag raha hai, kya karenge, sab, hai na? In fact, I'm working with data that is as big as 5 TB. It cannot be fit in any kind of hard drive also, but I'm able to analyze it within seconds. It takes 16 seconds to calculate the mean of 100 crore rows.
So what data set is this lab?
It is the COVID-19 testing data, testing database. No, it's a living data set. I mean, right as we speak, new tests are being added.
Okay.
Anyway, that's for another day. But can we do one more?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, can we see if you would have seen? No longer Karnataka is the least. It's Himachal Pradesh. You get my point?
Current uses. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Current
So
uses.
all that has also changed, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That is why we spent. You might find it a waste of time and things, but these are the things that exactly what we are trying to say. And imagine you need to do the same thing for 59 variables. Okay. Then will you copy paste 59 times? Or are you going to be lazy about it and write a function and say that okay, do this for everything and save it, save the plot, go here in a folder called plots, write this. See, I'll tell you. See, this plot, what I can do is what okay, let me okay, if you want to save this plot, right, plot is created, now you want to save this plot, but I would prefer that when you are saving something, creating a plot, all the X labels and Y labels and all should be proper. Okay, so how do you change X labels and Y labels? It is very simple. You say labs, lab is for label, X equals to current users in percentage, and all this needs to be a string, right? It's supposed to be this way, correct?
So how did you add the quotation marks directly?
Select everything and press the quotation mark.
Oh,
Okay, quite easy. And the same thing, I can say Y label should be state, no? State. And this one, category newer, should be category, or what should it be? Let us call it category, but I don't want category underscore newer. I want it as no capital category. So I can say fill equals to category. Is that fine? I want to add a title now. What is the title going to be? Okay. But this is not enough for me. Okay. This might not be still enough for me, isn't it? In fact, I can directly okay. This is perfect. Now we can save this file. How are we going to save this file? We can say gg save. Where do you want to save it? Here. Where do you want to save it? In here? Plots. What should the name of the plot be? Current. I want to save it as a PNG. PNG is a good format. No? It's saying
we don't
saving.
need to pipe it or something.
Sorry. Okay.
We don't need to.
The good thing is that the default plot in GG save is the last plot. So all you
Okay.
need to do is you write it in the end and run it consequently, and then you see in my files, it automatically created a plots folder, and in that it has created this. Let me. Okay. This is not very clean, isn't it? So I want to, you are now confused. Okay, why did this happen?
Yes.
What I
Yes,
can
sir.
do is I can add. See, right now it said that it is saving in this dimensions, isn't it? That is become too small for you, no? Isn't it? So you can
Those
say
are
that, okay, the width, default actually I'm using 2 monitors. So actually it is taking the other monitor's dimensions and saving it, but you can be explicit. And one good way is you can just press F1 in GG7 and it will tell you all the different options you have. Okay, and it will also give you examples, right? So now if I run this and it has opened this, it is too big. I need to now increase my
Length.
length,
Height.
height. Okay.
Length.
Yeah,
Height. Height.
height. So I'll say the default height is this much.
2.18 inches.
So I understand that, okay, this is 10 inches will be too big for me. I'll do 7, and then height will be 5 to do it, isn't it? Okay,
Okay.
this is the plot.
Yeah.
So I have other tricks up my sleeve. Scale. There's a scale option. The default is 1. So I can say 1.5. Better?
Yes, sir.
Much better?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So could we have used scale directly instead of width and height and set the scale high enough? Like maybe scale 4 or 5.
That we can definitely do. Let us. What I'll do is, I'll just copy this. Go to the previous plot. Okay. Remember, we made one plot in the end. This one,
Yes.
isn't it? Which using ever tobacco users, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I'll make it ever, and category will be new, and this is ever, and this will also be ever, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it? And this time I'm not using anything, and I'll say scale is 2 points or 3. You want to make it 3?
Yeah.
And this also has to be ever. No, otherwise it'll override the previous one. Let me select all. See, let me clear everything. Right now my environment is empty. I'm running it. Okay, it says that there is a problem in df names lower camel. It does not have. Consider using, see, the reason I got this error is because consider using make clean names for other classes. Okay, so it's saying that this is not a good practice. So I will remove this. Anyhow, I'm not going to use that. Running this. Okay, there is one other this thing. Where is it? Clean name.
DF is plain names.
Oh, why is it not showing anything? Because DF is not there, no.
Yes, sir.
So I need to do this. Okay,
Okay.
I've commented it out previously. So I'm going to select everything and run. And it has already created a plot for us. And this is the plot. Okay.
So the
How quickly?
scale,
Yes, scale 3, whatever scale we use works.
that method, is it like a good practice, or should we be specifying in width and height?
See, it's good practice to be explicit. Okay, for example, if you're using multiple monitors, or if you're using if you're for example, this is a bar chart because the number of states and everything are same, so it's going to actually be the same. But later on, if you create a box plot or things like that, you would want consistent results, right? For example, if you're writing thesis and you want all your plots to be the same size and width, then so it's good to be explicit. You know? You're not wasting any resources by not being specific. But yeah, you will get the hang of it. There is, see, even what we did is a hit and trial, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think we are too much off board. No, it's already 9:05. Huh? I'm sure that you guys would want to have more sessions between now and the next Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will leave it
Yes,
up to
sir.
you. If you guys want more sessions, you can just ask me. I'm always there. I'm free. I did not want to, bombard you with too much information. We can pace it also. We can give. I'll share all the code. Okay. One good thing, bad thing we did was we did not save this, and this itself is not reproducible, isn't it? Because when you come back, so if I'm actually cleaning everything and I'm coming back here and I'm trying to run this, it will say, no, I cannot find DF. Okay. So this is a bad practice. So in order to make it a good practice, you can specify here, create a bar plot for current use. Okay. So back home. And all you need to do is just copy. Yeah. I think this much will be a good thing to do. But then, yeah, this much will be good. Now, if I control A and enter, area is not found. Why is area not found? Oh, the reason is we have not clean names. Right now, all the names are capitals and things, right? So we have to run this also, isn't it? You guys are getting what I'm doing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, now it is, I can save it. Where do I save it? Okay. So next time when I come, I know where to look for this code or script. It will be there in my code folder, right? Create password. Okay. Whenever you're, sharing things, what you can do is very quickly, you can share the whole project also. Okay. What I'll do is that I can just go to this online session. This is the folder for my sessions, no? Isn't it? I can
Yes.
zip
Yes.
it. Yeah, I'll compress it to zip. And right now, I can just email it to you. And because everything is written in the tidy way, and I'm using here, not the absolute paths, you can directly unzip it, open the rproj file, and it will open a project for you, same project, and you can run the code, and it will run without any problem. Okay, and if you see, how much do you think this whole project will, the size of the project will? Oh, sorry. Oh, it's 432 KB. Yeah, it's 432 KB. Yeah.
Small.
Yeah, you're not able to see it. Yeah, it's here.
That includes the images also. No?
Yeah, it includes image, and images alone are. I'll show you. The images alone will be more. Yeah, 456 KB are the images alone. Okay, so it's quite lightweight, and you can In fact, I tried to run it on my tablets and things like that. It doesn't work, but it's light enough to do all of that also. Anyway, so yeah, we'll stop. Like always, I'll share the recordings and this project also with you guys tonight. Have a look. You can open the project on your own and you can work on that. Okay. And meanwhile, please be very free to ask any queries, any questions. Even if you want, if you're not comfortable on the WhatsApp group, you can just directly call me, send a screenshot. That's all fine. Okay. But I want you guys to do. I think we'll get into all of this much more later on. But then definitely. I would prefer that you work on your own data set also. You all have one data set at least with you, right? It could be a thesis data set, it could be anything, or if somebody else has given you to do something, all of that you can
Yes,
just
sir.
explore. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. If you don't have the data set, please feel free to ask. There are thousands of data sets lying around on data.gov.in. and you can work on any of them. Okay, then. See you the next time. When do you want the next class?
Sir, this weekend we can
Okay, weekend when?
Saturday, Sunday,
Okay, Saturday I'm
if everyone
traveling.
is free.
Saturday I'm traveling. Sunday I can join definitely, but it's all up to you guys because I don't want to. I'm sure that you only have one day with you guys. Weekend. I don't want to be the one who is, encroaching on your Netflix time.
No, sir. Sunday I am free.
No,
If
sir.
everyone is free, then we can have. Actually, we need more practice regarding this.
Practice.
Yeah, I think practice will come from your side. You have
Yes,
to
sir.
practice.
So if
I
you
can
could
only
just
navigate.
give
I
some
can help
mock
you.
assignment or something.
Yeah, all that is there. But you want mock assignments?
If you just give some direction of like maybe create a graph or two from this data set, then you could compare the
Okay.
next time.
Okay. One other maybe from the next time I can give you mock assignments. The reason I don't want to give you mock assignments is that not everybody is comfortable with the ggplot syntax yet. Because we have not gotten chance to really we spent more time on the philosophy of tidy data in reproducible research. We have to spend some time on grammar of graphics as well. And once
Yes,
we
sir.
do that, things will actually fall in place.
Okay.
Okay. So assignments on all, you'll have n number of things and you'll be like, okay, I don't want any more, please, thank you. But then for that, we need to reach some place. Otherwise, I'll be overburdening you already.
Okay.
Okay, I'll share these resources. If possible, just go through the video in like 1.5 or 2x or whatever, the speed of your brain is, go through that very quickly because a lot of things will get, that is how I learned, by looking at people work, right? Okay, see you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Take
Thank
care.
you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Good night, everyone.